So today we are at Chanhu-Daro, and with me Dr. Delphine. She is a specialist in Archaeometry, and she will tell us about the analysis of different types of material which we discovered from the site. So please tell us about the stuff you already analyzed.
So I'm Dr. Delphine. I'm an associate professor at Sorbonne University in Abu Dhabi. I'm French, and my specialty is to work in the field of archaeometry. I met Aurore Didier in France, and she told me that she was a director of a mission here in Pakistan, and she was interested to implement archaeometry analysis to the study of the different items excavated here in Chanhu-Daro. So, archaeometry is the use of scientific instruments coming from, for example, physics or chemistry, and the point is to analyze some different materials from the excavation. So it's to know, to identify the atomic composition or the molecular composition of those materials that could be stones, lithics, ceramics, so different kind of materials, and to know more about the composition of those materials. So for example, I take one bead and I will use it, I will put it under the Raman spectroscopy, so it's one of the instruments, portable instrument that I brought from Sorbonne University, Abu Dhabi, and to directly analyze it with a laser. And thanks to that, we'll know the composition of this bead. So it's the first time actually that we are bringing some portable instruments on field, directly on the site. Usually those kind of analyses are made in the laboratory, but the point of this first campaign is really to test, to assess the feasibility and the efficiency of those instruments to analyze directly on field those materials. So among the instruments that I brought, there is a small microscope, a field microscope, which is a dinolite. So it's really a basic microscope, but it's just to take some microscopic pictures to get some details of the materials that I'm analyzing. So it's important for me to get those first pictures, to have an idea of the surface of how is the surface of the material, and then in order to maybe have a strategy to analyze the material that I will use other instruments for that. So I'm just taking some pictures at different magnitudes and to see the details of this bead, for example. When I'm done with this, I can now analyze it with this instrument. So this instrument is a Raman spectroscopy, and the point to use this instrument is to identify the molecular composition of the material. So thanks to that, we can record some spectra, and where we can see some bands, specific bands, and I will have to compare those spectra that coming from the material with a database in order to identify for each peak what kind of vibration in the molecule it is corresponding, and like that I will know the composition of the material. So thanks to this first chemical analysis, we will know the molecular composition, but actually we also need to know the atomic composition. And so this is why we need to pursue the analysis with another instrument, and this other instrument will provide atomic identification, so it's complementary information thanks to those both machines. So this machine combines X-ray fluorescence spectroscopy and X-ray diffraction. So the X-ray fluorescence spectroscopy will give us information about the atomic composition. And the X-ray diffraction will give us some information about the crystalline form of a molecule. So this is a complementary approach to the Raman spectroscopy. So we place the material here, and X-ray will be focused on the surface. So we place the material, the sample, under the machine. So here it's a ceramic, and we will analyze the pigments on the surface, the black pigments, for example, and to know the composition, the atomic composition of this sample. So two spectra will be recorded. One spectrum from fluorescence, X-ray fluorescence spectroscopy, which is here. And thanks to that, we saw some peaks, and we will look at the elements present inside. So for example, we can look for the iron, and indeed it's checking with this, the manganese, the calcium, and maybe also titanium. So thanks to this database, we can directly know what kind of atoms are in this pigment. And then for the X-ray diffraction, we have another kind of spectrum here. This is more regarding the crystalline structure of a molecule, but in that case we will need also to compare it with a database to know, to understand the peaks of what kind of distance between the atoms it is linked. And so like that we'll know the crystalline structure of the material. So this is the methodology that we implemented here for the first time with some portable instruments to analyze different kinds of materials. And so it's the first test, and we will see the result of this first campaign, and to maybe pursue for the next season. So thank you very much.
So friends, she was Dr. Delphine, who telling us about the analysis of pottery and metals and Carlinian beads. So thank you very much.
Thank you.